Marvel stuff, breaking Marvel reveals, Fantastic Four details, cast. Let's see what the Cosmic wanted to say about this and check this out.
There have been so many rumors and reports going around about the new Fantastic Four movie, but we finally have an update from Marvel Studios themselves. The confirmed and announced director of the Fantastic Four film coming to the MCU, Matt Shakman, did an interview with Collider where they asked him a ton of questions about the upcoming Fantastic Four MCU film. And he promises that this movie is actually going to be quite different than anything that we've seen in the MCU previously. And of course, we're going to cover the entire interview, but it does seem like Matt Shakman does seemingly confirm that the cast for the Fantastic Four is locked in, ready to go, and everybody, all the roles have been cast, which means some of those recent reports are most likely true. A lot to unpack in this interview. Let's get started. But if you're new, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest news. And if you subscribe and leave a comment, you're automatically entered in our giveaway for a chance to win a PS5, an Xbox Series X, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. The winner gets to pick one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. So as I mentioned, this is an exclusive coming from Collider. They did an interview with Matt Shakman for his upcoming Apple TV series, Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. However, they did veer off and ask many questions about the Fantastic Four, and we're going to go through the entire interview and tell you exactly what he said. Collider Steven Weintraub asked the interview questions, and he asked about the upcoming screenplay, aka the story of the upcoming Fantastic Four film, in which Matt Shakman replied with this: "It's different in so many ways. I wish I could be specific. I wish I could say more, but we are doing things very differently from a story standpoint, from an approach to the filmmaking standpoint that really fits the material. I wish I could say more. I would love to, but I can't. But I think it's going to be unlike anything you've seen before, and certainly unlike anything at Marvel that you've seen before." So right away, this sounds cool, but it could also be kind of concerning. It can go both ways. A lot of things have worked very well for the MCU up until now, but some could argue that recently things haven't been as good as the first three phases. However, comfort is given by Matt Shakman when he talks about how much he loves making this movie and about how much he loves the characters and the stories of the Fantastic Four. When speaking about making the film, this is what he said: "I'm absolutely having a great time. It's a dream of mine to be able to work on that," speaking of the Fantastic Four film. "I've loved those characters since I was little. It's such an awesome world to be in. The script is awesome. The characters are brilliant. I'm super excited. I'm obviously very happy now that the writer's strike has resolved in such a good way and we're able to reunite with Josh Friedman, our amazing screenwriter. I'm really hoping for a fair and equitable resolution to the actor strike soon, too. Keeping our fingers crossed, but we're going. We're a snowball heading downhill. It's awesome. It's got a lot of momentum. It's really fun." So, the way he talks about the movie, one, seems like he has a ton of passion behind the project. Two, seems like he's pretty knowledgeable about the Fantastic Four since he's been fans of them and reading their stories since he was little. And three, it sounds like everything is simply going well with the entire process right now, with the screenplay, the story, everything. He says everyone there is having a blast. It's got a lot of momentum and it's really fun. So that's excellent news. He doesn't seem concerned at all, and it doesn't sound like anybody else is concerned at all. And we know that this is Kevin Feige's passion project, so I'm sure he's very involved with the process. I'm sure he's got a vision of his own, and I'm sure the vision of both of them is coming together very nicely. Now, the interview goes on to reveal that next year they are going to start shooting. Matt Shakman said, "Yes, we are definitely gonna go in front of cameras next year, probably in the spring." So springtime next year, which really isn't that far away, we might actually start to see set photos. That is typically what happens when they start shooting. Stuff gets out, which means they should be announcing the cast before then. They're going to be filming in London at Pinewood Studios. Now, he goes on to talk about two more really important things. One is the casting, and two is the VFX, which has been a concern lately with some Marvel fans, thanks to some Disney Plus projects that Marvel put out, and unfortunately some movies as well. But he says some great things about their process right now, and great things about announcing the cast soon. We'll talk about that, but first, big thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Many of you probably know by now that I personally use HelloFresh a lot because for me it simply makes sense. I have a pretty busy schedule in my day-to-day life, and HelloFresh just makes eating good meals a lot easier for me. With over 40 different recipes that I could choose from each week, HelloFresh does all the shopping and meal planning for you. Ingredients arrive at your doorstep, pre-portioned and ready to cook, along with pictured step-by-step recipe cards. They literally make it as easy as it possibly could be. The meals are very quick to make, and they do include some 15-minute meals as well. It takes the hassle out of mealtime, but it also can save you money. HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout. That means less stress of worrying about what you're going to eat, and you save money. So if interested, go to hellofresh.com/50cosmic and use code 50cosmic for 50% off plus free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/50cosmic and use code 50cosmic for 50% off plus free shipping. So going into the announcement of the cast, Collider asked, obviously people are very excited to know when you're going to announce casting. So when do you think fans are going to find out information? In which Matt Shackman said, hard to say. Like I said, we're in the middle of a SAG strike, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they get a great deal really soon and we can go back. Then, once that's resolved, there will be a plan at that point, but I can't say too much. There will be an announcement at some point. I know that the internet is very excited to find out, and I'm excited to share it. I just can't do it yet. So what he says here at the end really does make it seem like they have nailed down the cast. It sounds like they have their cast and he wants to announce it, yet he's saying, I can't do it yet due to the actor strike, which of course we totally get. However, it does sound like deals are done, and if perhaps they cannot officially write any contracts or sign any contracts due to the SAG strike, it sounds like they probably have a handshake agreement with their Fantastic Four. But his last couple of sentences there, I'm excited to share it, I just can't do it yet, makes it really seem like he has it and could do it right now if it wasn't for the strike. So I believe that our Fantastic Four has its official cast. Marvel's first family has been cast. We simply have to wait a little bit longer to find out who it is. So let's hope that the SAG strike ends soon. They're supposed to be meeting next week, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. And like I mentioned, the last thing that he talks about is the VFX. Collider stated and then asked, one of the things about Fantastic Four is you have some characters that have unique abilities, and I would imagine you have been, even while the strike's been on, you've been probably working with VFX companies to try to develop those. How is that going to look on screen? How has it been looking at VFX for some of these characters and finding the way you want to bring these things to life? And Matt Shackman said this, we have been nonstop. Despite the strikes, yes, we've been working with the effects and with production design and building our world, and that's been incredibly exciting. You know, how do you translate those skills into live action in dynamic ways? Because some things that work beautifully in John Byrne and Jack Kirby are a little tougher when you're filming them. How do you make sure that things are exciting but also grounded in a scientific thing, which is also part of the Fantastic Four that I love? There's some stuff I'm super excited about. I can't say too much, you know? So this is fantastic news for a couple of different reasons. One is even though that they've been shut down due to the strikes, they've actually still been working, and it sounds like they've been working pretty hard, which means the movie shouldn't really experience any more delays. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But two, it sounds like they really are putting a lot of care and effort into the VFX of how the Fantastic Four are going to appear on screen. From Mr. Fantastic stretching, to The Thing, to Johnny Storm's Flame On, and of course, our Sue Storm Invisible Woman. Overall, it just sounds like there is a lot of care that is going into this movie, a lot of preparation, a lot of planning. And after reading this interview, it makes me feel pretty confident about the new Fantastic Four film that's going to come out. Now, we've heard that this film might take place in the 1960s, and it might actually take place in a separate universe, not our Earth main 616 universe. And that would certainly make it kind of a movie with a unique story that hasn't been done before. Yes, we have visited other universes in other movies, but we've never actually had a film from the standpoint of a team from a different universe set in another universe.
Mhm.
So perhaps that report is possibly true. And from what we have learned, it seems like Vanessa Kirby is going to be our Sue Storm. It sounds like Marvel Studios has narrowed their choices of Mr. Fantastic down to Adam Driver and Matt Smith. And there was also a report that Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things could be playing Johnny Storm. And for The Thing, we have heard Daveed Diggs and Ebon Moss-Bachrach, although there hasn't been any real solid information about either of those names. But that could be as close as we can get to knowing our Fantastic Four cast. Again, it looks like Marvel Studios has locked it down, so let's hope these strikes end soon so we can get an official announcement. They're going to start filming in spring, so we're definitely getting an announcement before then. So hopefully not too much longer. Hopefully they don't make us wait until they start filming in spring. In the meantime, let us know your thoughts about all of this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
Please subscribe, like this video. Have a great day, and see you guys. Bye.